So tell me, what were you saying? You're part of Maddie Moe's team, right?
Yep,
Or
Mo
Mo
Bros.
Bros. And you were talking about the field. Actually, something you said there, you were like, I'm sure Maddie Moe said this about that field or whatever. Just assume that that I don't know anything. Like,
Okay.
don't leave
Okay.
anything out. Yeah, even if it's repeated, it's okay. It's been a while since he's been on, so if he said it in one of his last ones, it's okay
Eh.
too. So I'm
Well,
about to have him on
speaking of
again
which,
too.
he
So.
wanted to plan another one with you before Thanksgiving, so I just thought
Yeah,
I'd mention that. But
he already messaged me and said that he is available like the first or second, maybe the second week of October. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay,
something
cool.
around there.
Yeah,
But yeah, so but like you were saying, it's always fun to have more people to play with, obviously, and I go to RPC a lot up in New Hampshire because I mean it's usually a lot of regulars. It's usually the same people there, and they're just such a good group of guys up there. It's not like the newbie rental player. I mean, nothing wrong with them, obviously,
yeah.
but it's like
Got to start somewhere.
it's just this very strong community up there, and sometimes I mean I'll bring up my young neighbor. He's about 11. He
Okay.
always wants to. He's always asking me like, hey, when you gonna go airsofting? I got my own gun. It was like, yeah, sure, bud. I mean, just give me a time if you're free on like a Saturday or Sunday, and we'll go up there. And I brought him up a few times, so it's always good to bring that new blood into the sport because there's. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think airsoft is it's a relatively young sport, right? It's only been going for like about 20 years, or at least when it really started to gain
I think so.
popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so I
feel like
mean,
it really still hasn't. It's only been the last couple of years that's starting to gain some kind of,
yeah,
popularity. Yeah.
yeah, but it's just, I mean, regardless of any sport, it's just good to bring like the younger people in because it's such a niche. It is kind of a niche hobby
For
because it's
real.
like a lot of the people that I know run real steel, or they're just really. I mean, some of us are just video game nerds and we just play first person shooters. I
Right.
mean, that's kind of I'm kind of in those both categories. I do shoot real steel. I do own a couple of real guns, and I do play a lot of Call of Duty. So I kind of fall in both categories, but it's it is a little niche. But I
Yeah, for
think
sure.
but I think with like all the it definitely since COVID, I think airsoft has grown a lot, like a
Yeah.
ton,
Yep.
and that's literally when I started because, well, stop me if you heard this before. I was a kid in high school, or actually no, just got out of high school. I was in college, and I got really bored, and I really wanted to do something. So and yeah, so I was like, well, I heard about airsoft, and I was like, well, I'm really interested in target shooting. I was getting into a little bit of target shooting. When I was still in scouts, I really liked the 22 shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Just like little plinkers
Those are
and
great to shoot.
I know it's such a good introduction. But then I played paintball a little bit. It's kind of another story, but in short, I was at this really big field in Pennsylvania. I was out originally for a vacation, and I liked it, but it was really expensive.
Oh, okay.
Bags of paint were like freaking 50
Yeah.
bucks. I don't know how much, but it was like, ugh, it's too expensive. So
Too
I
much.
wanted an alternative to that. I liked I liked the gameplay. I liked the style that it brought, like that
Yeah.
that gameplay style. But it's like I just wanted something a little bit cheaper and something a little bit more realistic in a
Uh-huh.
way. And then I heard about airsoft. Well, I guess I kind of always did know about airsoft. I just didn't really take it seriously. And then I said, like, you know what, screw it. It was 2020. I'm bored, and I was like, you know what, let's give it a try. Let's give it a
Yeah.
try. And I think the first time I went, or yeah, no, it was RPC because that was literally the closest field towards me because it's like about 45 minutes away. I live in the northeastern part of Massachusetts,
Okay.
and so it's in Fremont, New Hampshire. That's like in the Kingston area near Seabrook about. So that's like a 45-minute, yeah, 45-minute, 35-minute drive. So it's not
Okay.
bad. It's not bad. Certainly beats the hour and a half to UBG and Bridgewater, but
Yeah, that's
so
long. That's kind of
yeah,
long,
it is
especially
long.
starting out. Now, when
Yeah.
you said you had seen or heard about airsoft, what was your first memory of hearing about airsoft? What was it? Was it on videos or some friends talked about it?
I think it was. I didn't. No, I've definitely seen videos. I'd have to say it was
Okay.
definitely from videos I've seen because I've played. I guess really, I guess what really kicked it off though was I play a lot of tactical shooters. So like, um, Ready or Not. I don't know if
Mm.
you're familiar with those titles, but
Yep.
they're SWAT 4.
Uh-huh.
Um, I didn't really play much Rainbow Six Siege, but I did play like the older Rainbow titles.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more hardcore tactical shooters where it involves like teamwork, communication, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I do follow some YouTubers that play those games and play Airsoft. So it's like,
Okay.
damn, they get to do that in real life in like a simulated fashion. I was like, dude, that's freaking awesome. So I
Uh-huh.
guess that's where it really started off. And then I've obviously heard like some friends and group chats like saying, hey, my friend does blah 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 Airsoft. Like maybe you should try it out because you're into the same stuff. And I was like, yeah, it does seem worth a try. So I got my own gun because when I looked at RPC, they didn't have any rentals, but I had enough money saved. I got my own gun. It was a $150 Titman, and that thing was a piece of shit, but it worked. And I just got like a cheap vest,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, I got like the iPro and everything like that. Just bare bone basics, what everybody started off with, humble
Yeah.
beginnings. But um, yeah, it was just I went out there, had a blast. It was like a little bit of a walk in the dark because I saw all these like kitted up guys, and I was like, oh, these motherfuckers mean business.
They're serious. What did I get into?
and and to be honest, I think um I saw the Mobros. It's kind of funny because like I saw the Mobros patches like at that time, like kind of floating around a little bit. I was like, oh, who's Mobros?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, just airsoft team local to the area. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't really think anything of it, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously in the business we call this foreshadowing. But
Exactly.
and yeah, so it went on for a bit. Just every 2 months I go there, and then I started taking school a lot more seriously. Started living on campus,
Okay.
and
What were you studying?
eventually got out of what's that?
What were you studying?
Mechanical engineering.
Oh,
I
wow.
was at Lowell, and I didn't like
Whew.
it there. I dropped out after like a semester. So I
Okay.
went to community, did some CAD drafting, but that's another story. But in the end, I did get my associates, and
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, I took a big hiatus, and it wasn't until late 2022, around December or no November is when I really wanted to start doing it again.
Yeah.
Um I don't know what it was. I guess I just got back into like, I don't know, seeing photos, and I was
Mm.
like, "You know what? That was really fun," and I didn't really give it a good try. So, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I went and I, just went out with the same stuff I had like 2 years ago, and I was starting to realize like, man, this is some piece of shit equipment I have here. The gun just wasn't working anymore. It was like
Uh,
it was bulky. It was like I was just starting to realize like the actual problems of the system I was using.
yeah.
I mean the plate carrier was okay. It was just like a cheap
Yeah.
vest or whatever. It was fine. It's like, you know
Now,
what? I need
were you playing just like pickup games or what do you call
Yeah,
open
pickup game
plays basically?
skirmish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
call them skirmishes, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
all I was doing. You know, just as a fun weekend warrior type deal.
Right.
But this was like every 2 months. This was
Okay.
never ever a hobby of mine.
Right.
Never did I think of it as a hobby. Never did I think of it as like a sport that I would, take any level further. It was just, hey, I'm gonna go out and just shoot plastic at people. But then, I don't know what clicked, but I just wanted to take it more seriously because I wasn't doing anything else. I wasn't really doing anything else that was active. I mean, I do a lot of hiking, I do a lot of that, but it's like I very seldom do I get it's not a regular activity of mine. I want to do something that I can do regularly and something that is exerting and then I can actually get something out of. So I just said, you know what, let's give Airsoft another try because I really do I did like it. Even though I was like running a really bad gun, I still liked it. And
it's not always a gun. I mean, it's you're still having fun. Now you get frustrated. That thing's shooting all over the place. You can't hit, straight in front of you. But
but I did get to try out other people's guns when I went back out there, and I was like, man, there's like more options. There's a lot better options than what I have. I mean, obviously, but it was like I just didn't know it got that good.
Right.
And
let's see. Crytek.
Yep, Crytek.
Tippmann. Which one?
Yeah. Well, the thing about Tippmann though is that when I played paintball for a bit, I mean, I only played like one game, but like when I was talking to people there, at that one time I did paintball, I was seeing Tippmanns everywhere. I was like,
yeah.
And I was asking like, hey, what's that brand? And it's like, oh, Tippmann. They make the best air systems. I don't know if that's the case now, but I still see like Tippmanns a lot. So
yeah, that's what I used.
And then I saw it for Airsoft. I was like, well, Airsoft, it's air powered essentially. I mean, even like those piston operates, it's still essentially an air powered gun.
Right.
So I was like, maybe Tippmann's the right option here. I mean, it's really a cheap budget option, but it can't be that bad.
Right.
I just, so buyer's remorse there, but should have done a little more research. But anyway, I got to try out different people's guns, and this was at a time I was, I actually had a real job and I was making a lot more money. So I made a decision like, okay, I really want to take a crack at this and take it more seriously. Mm-hmm. So I saved up to get a Crytek. And this was after Christmas, so I had like a shit ton of money from like gifts and whatever. I asked for gift cards, and so I saved it all up, got a Crytek Rec 7, which I would show you at right now, but it's actually out. They just finished it. I sent it out for custom work by Fatco Customs. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're great. Joker from Mobros told me to go to them if I want to upgrade it, but so that's where it is right now. It should be coming back this week.
What'd you get done to it?
So I got it was a total gut rework. Everything from the gearbox, the trigger, even the trigger mechanism. It's gonna be Aster Gate.
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all electronic. It's gonna be an Aster Gate. Titan, an Aster is the other. No, Gate Titan. That's what it's called. Gate Titan.
Okay.
Yeah, Aster is the more budget version. I paid like full price for this. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how you know. That's how you know that I don't really know. Even after talking with all these people, I don't really know all these brands and stuff because I'm going, okay, and you're like, no, not that one.
Oh, I didn't either, but I'm a little well versed, but. But yeah, anyway, that was a lot. That was way further into the future, but this was so I just bought it stock, obviously, from Crytek. Man, it was like shooting so well when I got it. I was like so stoked, and I was so satisfied because this was like the point where, like, this is it. I'm dedicating myself to this because, like, when you buy a nice piece of equipment like that, it's like, how can you not go out and want to shoot that thing all day? It's like, how do you not? But I don't know if you've ever seen a Rec 7, but it's I mean, you've obviously probably seen like the Trident Sports, like the PDWs and stuff like that, like the real shorty guns that people use CQB.
Yeah.
This one is a carbine length version. It's basically a Trident, just different style furniture, and it's
Gotcha.
licensed by Barrett. And
Oh,
if you didn't
nice.
know, yeah, so Rec 7, I didn't know this either, but Barrett, the same company that makes the 50 cal
Oh, yeah.
that that the military uses,
Yeah.
they make their own AR-15 called the Rec 7. I
Okay.
had no clue they dabbled in that, but I guess they did, and they partnered up with Crytek. I don't know when they first released it. My assumption is that it's been out for a while, but it had all the new. It had the version 2 gearbox, had all the updated stuff. The only real difference is that it's licensed and it's longer and it has a different style of trigger. That's about
Okay.
it. So yeah, it shot freaking excellent. And the main reason why I got it is because, like, since it was licensed, I just thought it looked cooler because
Yeah.
I thought having like an actual replica was really really cool to have.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, anyway, I got
It
it.
is. It is.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But
Definitely, yeah.
yeah, so I got it. Shot great. And then so that same vest I was using for a while, uh it was starting to break a little bit. I was starting to get a little dissatisfied. So I was like, you know what, I need something a little bit better. And I settled on just like, I wanted to get like really good quality stuff because I don't know, that's just me. I I talk a lot about how, like, I don't know. It's like people say, like, oh, you don't need the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can just get like the cheap Condor shit. My mentality is like, well, granted, it's airsoft, but it's like I kind of built up a mentality like I want this to be simulated training for like when I actually use my real gun, because if for whatever reason I had, when shit hits the fan or something, I'm getting real hypothetical, but it's like
Yeah.
I can't train every day, but why not have gear that works with the real steel counterpart, and you can use that for airsoft, and then when you
Yeah.
shoot real steel you can put that same gear on
Yeah,
and
it's
then
already
use it
set
for your
up.
real target
It's
shooting.
already set up. It's already like
Exactly.
fitted. You got all the straps just right. You got everything, set up for it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good. I mean, there's a lot of people I've talked with that that do that same thing. They really prep their gear for the training part. Like it's why not? Like the only, as far as gear goes, that's on your body for running with airsoft, uh, all of that translates over 100%
Yeah.
to real steel. Like the whatever the only difference in as far as like especially if you go to a 3-day mil sim or especially some of these more intense ones like Mil Sim West, they're your gear is you can transfer back and forth either one. Like put take your airsoft gun off out of your hands, put the real steel gun in your hands, and go do the same kind of running through whatever of what you're doing. All the different running and diving and hiding behind trees and climbing up this and
Yeah.
scooting through that and crawling through this or whatever. Like that is that doesn't matter if it's airsoft or real steel. What's in your hand. So all your outside gear, all your body gear is definitely,
Yeah.
you'll get more use out of it if it's more, if it's better, where it ain't gonna rip the first mil sim you go to.
Yeah. And honestly, in some regards, I see like people just absolutely dumping money into their builds. It's like,
Oh yeah,
granted, I mean, you should put some money into the stuff that you're gonna like. Definitely invest in your primary
yeah,
before you even buy a secondary. And it's like, put the basic stuff. I do is that I get new inner barrel and a new pop-up unit. Nothing crazy, just enough where it extends, the reach and has a little bit better
okay.
accuracy.
So
But
what is crazy for you? What would be, so if
oh,
somebody said,
okay,
hey, what, hey, we got this gun here, right? It's like your Crytek, but it's like 10 times better, whatever.
yeah,
What price in your mind is too much? So where do you draw
Well,
the limit when it comes to airsoft, like an airsoft
well,
gun?
it would have to be what I spent on my Crytek because I didn't even get into that yet.
Because I was
Yeah, I
talking to some
spent.
dude, and he casually tells me, "Yeah, I got this, had this, gun upgraded, did this and whatever." Well, I bought it custom upgrade. I can't remember. It was Umbrella Armory, I think,
Oh
and
yeah, I'm
it was
familiar with
like
that.
he
Yep.
was like, "Yeah, it was like $2,000 or whatever." I said, "Wait, what?" And I go,
Okay, that was not. Yeah, that was not in the range
I
that
was
I
like,
spent.
because I'm not
Wait, on
used
the
to hearing
build or
that.
the gun itself?
No, like the gun. Well, it was already built.
It was already built.
So
Okay, okay.
you can order it that way. Like they'll do everything for you, custom
Right. Okay.
right out of the box for you. So now you don't have
Okay.
to do any upgrades. It's going to last for a long time.
Right.
Now the dude has been playing for 10 years, and so he knew he's already gone through a lot of different equipment and guns and everything. And he's like, I'm ready to I've been doing this for so long. I'm going to continue doing it for probably that long or longer. So I want something that's going to be reliable and I don't have to mess with. I want to get it. I don't have to open it up. I don't have to mess with it. And then just, we're ready to go. So it did. When he first told me though, I was like, bro, for a toy gun. So
I know.
it
And then
just,
when you say, "But it's more than a toy," like, it's a toy gun, dude. It shoots. It doesn't shoot plastic.
yeah, right.
It's a toy gun. I know. I hate to put your spirits down, but it at
Yeah,
the end of the day, it is still a toy gun.
it really
But
is.
but anyway,
But it's fun.
yeah,
It's fun.
it's fun, yeah, and it's like,
So what's your
God bless you
limit? What's
for
your limit? If you were looking at a gun and it was 1500, 2300, what is it?
Well, okay, so what I spent on the Rec 7 was 450.
Okay.
And I believe I think that's probably the most expensive gun you can get from most expensive rifle. I mean, I think their LMGs are obviously more expensive, but if
Yeah.
you were to just get like a basic rifle, I think that is the most expensive one you can get from them, unless if something newer came out that I'm not familiar with. But $450 just for the stock, and obviously I've had it for a while. I think it was like 5 months down the road or 6 months later, I just decided like I wanted to upgrade it. And then, so like I said, Joker told me about Fatco Customs, and I was looking through their
Yeah.
builds, and I was seeing like, oh, they have different tiers. There was a tier 3 which costed, I think that was just like basic gearbox work, like shimming and stuff like that, and they throw in a barrel or in a hop up, and I think that was like about 350, and I was like, okay, that's pretty reasonable.
Hmm.
And I looked at tier 2, and I think that was like 650, and that was like really, that now you're starting to get into the really high end stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, 650, I could save for that, but and so I just kind of looked over it because I thought I was going to go with the tier 3. I'll
Yeah.
get into the tier 1. Now the tier 1 was 850. Now this is like creme de la creme. They
Okay.
put the gate, they put the new trigger, the new gearbox that they custom build themselves. Everything they make is handmade or hand assembled rather. They order the
Yeah.
parts, but they hand assemble, like everything tuned to perfection. And so, I was just curious to see how much it costed, and I was like, oof, wow, $850. I'm like, okay. But that's for everything. So it's like,
Uh-huh.
after that, you don't need to do anything else. Like, there's
Right.
literally nothing else you can do. So
Honestly, that's not bad. If you
Yeah.
do 850 and you spent 450 on the gun, like the base stock version of
Yeah.
the gun, and then you get that, like that's actually pretty common. I've heard people have,
Yeah.
I got $1,200,
Yeah.
$1,500 into this gun and it's good.
Yeah. So I emailed the guy. I'm like, hey, I'm interested in your builds. In fact, this was kind of coincidental because I think at that time they just released a Rec 7 build. So I was like, hey,
Oh,
I saw your
nice.
Rec 7 build, and I was, see if you could do mine. And I was wondering, like, hey, I already got an upgraded barrel and hop up in this thing. So, if you can just tinker with the gearbox, that'd be great. And he said, like, well, thanks for reaching out. However, we're all sold out of the tier 3s and tier 2s. All we have are the tier 1s, the most expensive build you can get.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, is there any chance you can just do the gearbox and like, everything comes with it, but can you just minus the barrel and the hop up? He's like, we can, but we build these things to our specifications. So if we were to use your barrel that's already in it, there could be problems.
Yep.
Which makes sense because like sometimes
Right.
you have compatibility issues with those Crytacs, and if you don't, if you're not, for those who are not familiar with Fatco, they have, what's so great about them is that they have their own Crytac division. Like these guys know what they're talking about.
Wow.
And they told me like, yeah, if you're familiar with Crytacs, they have a tendency not to work well with a lot of parts.
They don't play nice with others.
No, they don't. But it is what it is because they're just high end guns and they're built to certain specifications.
Yeah.
Not that they're totally proprietary, but it's just like some are a little bit finicky.
No, but that's how a lot of them are, to be honest.
Yeah. That's how that's just how it is with Crytek. But so they said like the safer option may honestly just be getting the tier 1. And he's like, and I said, okay, that's fine. If it means that I don't have to do anything else to it, and I know it's just going to be the best of the best, then screw it. I'll just save up another couple weeks worth of pay. And I did, and then I got it. And now
Nice.
it's being shipped as we speak. It took him a while. There was some drawbacks. I think the dude had like some knee surgery and and he had some Milsim events to attend to because they do rent out their builds at American Milsim. I believe that's like their main spot. So yeah, they rent out their builds and just basic business shit to attend to. And he said like, yeah, I'm sorry it's taking so long, but we're finally shipping out to you. And yeah, it finally shipped, and I'm really happy to see it. It should be arriving either tomorrow or at the beginning of like next week or something. So I'm pretty excited for that.
That's good.
Yep. But anyway, back to what I was talking about, the gear. So I bought when I was looking for a new plate carrier. I wanted to go with a plate carrier. I know some people like the chest read, but I just wanted to use a plate carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking. I was like, okay, Cry Precision, way too fucking expensive. Because I just wanted to see how much it costed. Because I knew Cry Precision was like, it's basically the supreme of like the tactical world.
Now, when you looked it up, how much was it?
Oh, I think it was like $400 for like their newest one, or like their 300. Some of them are a bit more reasonable, like they're more minimalist ones. But I wanted one that was like a full plate carrier. I think it's like their JPC or something like that. Can't remember the exact model, but it was really freaking expensive. And I looked on Agilite, more reasonable, but I was like, $270. I was like, okay, let's see anything else. So I'm kind of just looking around, and I remember I still have some 511 gift cards from Christmas, and I fucking love 511, dude. I love them. Dude, I'm wearing their pants and shoes right now, and this is nice. I'm wearing their hat. I literally wear all 511. I love their clothing. They have good tactical gear too, but I really love their clothing. So I was like, you know what? They sell a plate carrier. I'm gonna see what people say about it, and the reviews were pretty good. It's not as common to see with like the high speed guys, but if it works, it works. And I go to the store, and like I wanted the multicam one because multicam is sexy as hell, and I really wanted it. And I had like I think $100 saved up in gift cards.
Nice.
And I was like, all right, I want the multicam plate carrier. Do you have it? And he was like, oh, no, we do not. I was like, really? But I saw it on your online store. He's like, yeah, because it's only online. I was like, fuck. Yeah, I guess a lot of like their multicam stuff is like online only. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know why that is, but all the cool shit they have is just online only. So I ordered it online, and it eventually comes in the mail, and man, I was just really impressed. It fit really, really well. It was it's a little bit bigger than like typical ones. I know there's like some smaller ones, but this is like a more medium large size plate, so like plenty of room for
Okay.
putting mag carriers, like
Right.
placards, all that stuff. And I was satisfied for that. I was satisfied with that for a while.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, I still have it. In fact, I think I'll pretty much use it indefinitely. But I actually have it right here.
Nice. Yeah, let's see it.
I don't know if you can see it well with the light,
Awesome.
but yeah, here you
Yeah, it
go.
looks good,
So it never looked like this. Originally, the setup was 3 mag carriers right here, 3 rifle mag character, 3 mag carriers. I wasn't really running a pistol at the time, so I didn't really run any pistols. So yeah, I just kind of did with it as it originally was. But
Yeah.
I did some work with. I did want to run a radio, obviously, and they did have a radio pouch that they sell there. So I just bought that.
Okay.
It's a nice pouch. I really like it.
Yeah.
There probably are some better ones, but this is I like it. I've been using it. It's a little torn up, but it still works. Excellent retention. You got a bungee strap right here that keeps that shit in place. But the way I used to run this radio is that I had an antenna extender. So this thing never used to be directly attached to the radio. It would just run through the I just weave it through the cummerbund, and it would sit back here. Obviously, there was no backpack here. I would just run it. I would just stick it through the molly.
Oh, okay.
This was very early on. And
so you put the backpack on there and everything?
Yep, I put the backpack on there. That was this is a Haley Strategic Flat Pack Plus.
Okay.
Probably the best backpack you can get on the market, hands down. I know Agilite has some good stuff, but this is the best. The OG Flat Pack is hands down, in my opinion, the best.
Nice.
It is super low profile.
Right.
Like, look how freaking slim that is.
It's so thin.
And when you need it to be a little bit larger, you can expand it. If I can get it, the zipper, I think it's right here. Or no, that's the let's work at it a little bit. So you see that zipper right there? See how it has like that little.
It's like an expansion.
It's basically an expansion.
I love when
space right
backpacks and all these kind of things do that.
Yeah, and the whole like profile of the pack does it too, like this flap.
I love
around
when they
the
do
whole
that.
circumference of the whole surface of the pack. So literally, the whole thing just like splits open. Which is sweet because you can just access everything all at once, and it can expand out. There's a hidden zipper in there, but it's just all Velcro, so you can just literally put whatever you want in there. I actually put some little retainers right here for like mags, smokes, whatever you want. And obviously you can fit Camelback in there too. It's got a zipper.
Oh, nice.
Yep, so you could put hydro packs, whatever you need. But originally it never looked like that. It was super minimalistic. It only had like what I needed and everything like that.
Now,
and,
how much was that? How much?
That was about.
The
so it was $230. Yeah, $230. They were having a sale at the time, which was good. And plus the $100. Oh, the what?
The mini map.
The mini map
by Cry.
No.
Yeah, it's a mini backpack, and it's like
no,
triple,
I haven't seen.
It's like triple what you said the original Cry you looked at was.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Bro, okay.
They're like a collector's item.
Yeah.
They're like $1,000, $1,200.
Well, that's what you get when you buy from military contractors. They jack up their prices because they know who's feeding them.
I don't even think. Well, maybe it is from there, but it's like this whole trading, collecting community with mini maps. I was like, dude, what? This is crazy. And it's like this tiny. Okay.
Yeah, it's not even that. Like, I mean, Haley Strategic isn't cheap, but it's way more reasonably priced than freaking Cry. and Cry can get away with it because they have government contracts and they can jack up the prices, and the government don't fucking care. They got
No.
infinite money. They print money out of thin air, so they can just get
for
away with
real.
it by jacking up the prices. But anyway, that's another story. That's why they can get away with it. But yeah, I love that carrier. It's great for its price. I mean, for 511, I mean, 511 when it comes to their tactical gear, I mean, they're just underrated as hell. Their clothes
Yeah.
are nice. Everybody loves their clothes, but their actual tactical gear, I think, is pretty underrated. So I've been satisfied with it ever since. I've been using it for almost a year now, and I love it. And oh, actually, I should probably show you this too. I also used a helmet when I first started, or actually not when I first started, but when I started getting back into it, I got a helmet. Now, again, it never used to look like this with all the shit on here.
Right.
It never had a cover on here. It didn't have the GoPro mount. I didn't even have a GoPro at the time. I did wear ear pro because I like to protect my ears, because you never know when a BB is just gonna fly right into your ear.
Right.
Never had that happen to me, but it's just, I just like the protection because it's a little more practical. Plus, you get the benefit of amplification, because
Right.
these are the Comtac replicas.
Okay.
So
Yep.
yeah, they look like Peltors, or not Peltors, but Comtacs.
Mhm.
So yeah, they just serve the same function. They're just a knockoff
Those
replica,
things are
but
amazing,
they work.
man.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
work. They work. They absolutely work. I mean, you can get real Comtacs. I mean, you can be that guy. I mean, I probably will get a real, just like a real pair soon, because
Yeah.
I want the authentic look. But it's like, there's nothing wrong with these things. It's
No,
like
my son got like a $30 pair. I don't even know what they were called. Maybe Surefire or something like that. And
$30.
were,
Surefire. I don't even think Surefire makes those. They make like weapon lights and
maybe it was
stuff like that.
So it was a different
Z-Tac.
brand.
If it was $30, it would probably like a Z-Tac or something.
That sounds familiar. So he's like, "Here,
Yeah.
try these on." I was like, "Oh, okay, earmuffs." Like, cool. He's like, "No, turn this thing." And he turned the knob, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I heard the air conditioning running in way down the hall, like it was right next to me. He turned the volume up on the amplification. And I was like, "What is that noise?" He goes, "Yeah, it amplifies." He goes, "Wait, hold on," and he claps real loud next to
Like
my
a
ear,
superpower.
and I didn't hear it. I was like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "You guys didn't have this when you were in the military?" I was like, "No, we had the yellow little spongy things."
Yeah,
that
just a
people are
little
doing the class action lawsuit on
crazy,
now or whatever.
dude.
Yeah,
It just amazes me how like our grandfathers literally ran into the fucking trenches in World War II with like literally nothing on their ears.
No.
It's like, how can you still hear me talk? How can you still hear me? Like after all that, incredible.
You learn how to read lips.
Incredible. Yeah, that's one good skill to have. But yeah, this is the same helmet I've had for months and months.
Now you gotta. What's the tubes? The X-Fog?
The X-Fog. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's good.
Love this thing. Best investment I've ever had. Originally, I just ran like the Tango style goggles. So what I would do is that there would be like these bungee straps connected to Velcro. I strap them on here, strap one on that side, one on that side, and that would be an anchor point, and then I just slide it over the helmet, rest on my eyes, and then it would just won't slip. It's a good setup if you like wearing those goggles. But then I discovered that they just don't they're just a little bit bulky for me. I mean, it was a good, like, they didn't fog because they had good ventilation. But I just wanted something a little more little less profile. But that wasn't until like way down the road when I was like with the Mobros team, when I actually started investing in stuff like this, because I didn't know this stuff existed. It's only when I didn't know this.
I didn't know half this shit existed when they first got into it. I'm like, that's why he was like, "Here, try these earmuffs on." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I mean, I was blown away. Everything they were showing me, like the X-Fog thing. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get one of those." I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, it's a little fan with tubes that go into your goggles, so it doesn't, keeps from falling. I was like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah, and I
simple
got
idea.
yeah, and
It's
I
really
got
good.
I got the Valhalla. I wear the ESS crossbows, the shooter's glasses. So to
Yeah.
make them full seal, Valhalla Tactical makes these gaskets that just snap in. They work with Oakleys
Nice.
too, but yeah, they have like the little. I think I have them somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I didn't bring them up with me, but basically what they. Oh no, hold on. I think I got them right here. Yeah, here they are. So a lot of people have been running these lately. So these are ESS crossbows, but they have this gasket.
Those look nice. Yeah.
They're amazing. And they have these little.
Yeah, what are those?
These gaskets, but these literally just slip right in.
Oh, for the tube.
Here, yeah. So you just put one in, and it delivers fresh air right into there, and it feeds through. I don't know if you can see it, but so you see that little. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see that little airway
it's
there?
A vent. Yeah, it's a little tiny vent.
Yep, so it just feeds right through that vent, and it covers the whole surface area of the lens. So
So did the glasses come with those? With those
No, though you gotta buy them separately.
Okay.
Yeah, because ESS doesn't make anything like that. That's the gaskets are from Valhalla Tactical, so they make them for the ESS and the Oakleys.
And they make them, to fit for or use with the X-Fog. Man, that's cool as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I think they came out with that just recently.
Okay.
I don't know if it was like this year or last year, but like it's only like since the beginning of this year I've seen people wear stuff like this.
Yeah, those look badass.
Because I think, originally you just kind of had to jerry rig the tubes in like the goggles. Yep. But it's like, man, like people live by this.
Idea.
They live by this, dude.
For real.
Oh yeah, people. Once that came out, people ditched the goggles and they went right to the shooter's glasses. Because I know a lot of people that use those as their eye pro for real steel. So it's like, great solution. But like I said before, I wasn't running that stuff. I was running the big Tango style goggles, and
the big
and I was running that gear for a while, and it was good. Worked a long time, or at least for until I felt like changing the stuff on there because I wanted something a little bit better. But but I guess I should probably get into of how I met Mobro. So it was just a typical day, and it was, I think this was like February of this year.
Okay.
And so I saw their tent there. I was like, oh, so that's the team.
How long had you been playing before you met him?
Oh, I've been playing. So I guess minus the year-long hiatus I took, I guess like maybe a year, maybe not even a year.
Yeah.
Because like, obviously I said before I had to take a break because I was, had more serious things at hand. But yeah, when I came back to it, I saw their tent that one day, and I was like, oh, I recognize that because I saw the patches everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and so I think Matt was definitely there, Joker was definitely there, and like the regular guys, just all the regulars, the people I still know, and so I guess it was like a recruiting day, and another thing I should mention too is that I really got into the new Modern Warfare, or I know the new Modern Warfare 3 is coming out, but when the new Modern Warfare 2 dropped, I fucking loved Ghost. The new Ghost was freaking amazing. So I got me one of these.
Nice.
It looks freaking awesome. And that's why they call me Ghost, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah.
That makes sense.
So, and it was my first day wearing that mask because I really wanted to try it out. And I had the whole getup on, and everybody was looking at me like, dude, what is, like, where did you get that? And I was like, I don't know, I just bought it on, are you familiar with Etsy at all?
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably the place to go for all the cosplay stuff. But anyway, that's where I got it. And they were just like, I mean, I wasn't really. This is before I had like a real serious kit, but it's like everybody was just so blown away because they just never seen the mask, because like the game literally just came out, and nobody really knew about like the character redesign for Ghost, and yeah, so that was just really funny to see everybody's reactions. But so yeah, we go out and play. They take some footage of me playing, and they contact me, saying like, "Hey, we really liked what you did. We loved seeing you play out there." And he's like, "Hey, have you considered joining the team?" And I was like, "Damn." I was like, I know I wanted to take Airsoft seriously, but do I want to take it this seriously? Like, join a whole freaking team? I was like, you know
That's a
what?
big step.
I know. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes you just got to dive right into it. And I said, you know what? Yes, I do. Because that was really fun. Because that was the first time I got to play with really competent people that had, like, full comms. Everybody just had chemistry. And it was like, if I can get more action like that, that would totally sell it for me, because that's just what I was looking for. I didn't know it, but that's what I was looking for in Airsoft. So yeah, I contact them back saying like, yeah, I absolutely would love to. I love playing with you guys. And after few text messages, they invite me to the group chat, and it's like, okay, now you're a recruit for Mobros Airsoft. And I was like, sweet. Does this mean like I'm on the team? Is like, yeah, but you're not a full member yet. So what I had to do is that I had to join a couple more games with them, and then go to a road game. I was like, oh, I've never been on the road before. Like, what do you
Gotta
mean, like on
travel.
the road? It's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
our next event on the road, I think this would be good for you, because I've never been to a Milsim event. I've never been to anything like that. No overnights, nothing. It's like, this is it was an event out in, I'd call it like a field event. It was like pseudo Milsim, pseudo skirmish. Like, we call them field events. And it was obviously themed. I guess this was something, this field, it's called Albany Paintball Experience. And this is actually where I first met the Valkyrie Directive too. So this is really good networking too. And
Right.
So they said like, this is a really good intro. You're gonna love it. There'll be, it won't be crowded, but you'll get to meet tons of people, work with them, and it'll just be a really good time. I think it'll be good for you. It's like, you know what? Fine. I'll, if as long as you can give me a ride, that'd be great. So ride wasn't too bad. It was just across the border from Pittsfield, Mass, which is good.
Okay.
And so we stayed at the hotel there.
Nice.
And I just got to, mingle with the team and just got to know them better. It was like, these are such a great group of guys. And this was like first impression, because this is the first time I ever hung out with them.
Right.
And I was, so yeah, honestly, great group of guys. And so yeah, next morning we go to the event. I'm in my get up, and yeah, so and everybody had everybody's like, whoa, who's that in the ghost mask? And
Oh, that's cool.
Everybody was like, yeah, that's our new member. He's really into the LARP. And yeah, it was pretty funny. I just love seeing people's reactions, because
oh yeah, it's cool.
I've just been, I mean, ever since like I really started to like really dress up for Airsoft, it's just like, that's just kind of like my sort of fun,
Sure.
apart from the game, like the cosplay and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah,
there's a lot of people they go to an event with wearing something that is maybe not practical for gameplay, but I mean, the first part of an event, whatever event it is like meet and greet, and show and tell. Like this is, that's what everyone does in airsoft.
Yeah. So it was, dude, it was a great time. I mean, even though it was pretty unfortunate, because that day I think they were supposed to get like thunderstorms, and we were supposed to have guys from Vermont. Like these are guys that Maddie knew. I think it was Ethan Allen boys. I think a couple of them showed up. I I think they're based in Vermont. I think Green Mountain is also based in Vermont. I don't know if they were invited, but a couple of Dogs of War guys. I don't know if you know Reaper 6, but that's his team. He's good friends with Maddie. I don't think any of them showed up.
Okay.
Yeah, so like in short, people didn't want to drive long distances just to see like, oh, it's raining cats and dogs. Why the fuck did I even come here? Just to find the event canceled. But it didn't. Dude, it was like totally sunshine the whole time. It's like,
oh, that's cool.
As usual, the friggin' weather forecast lies to me. So it's like great.
They changed it.
But anyway, I mean, I'm glad because it cleared up and I wasn't soaked by the end. But because we didn't have a lot of people there.
Yeah.
We were just totally outnumbered. It was like we went from having the numbers advantage to not having the numbers advantage by like twofold. Like it was like literally 3-1.
Oh my!
The other team, yeah. It was. I had to say it was like 40 against 15 or 20.
Holy
maybe like
cow.
40. Yeah. Oh yeah. But man,
so
did
y'all
we make some good pushes.
Spent a lot of time walking back to spawn or reviving each other.
Yeah, a little bit. But man, did we make some good pushes.
Yeah.
Really good pushes. I was impressed we actually got significant points. Like we didn't we really didn't get that slaughtered. I was so surprised. Yeah. And like I said, it's like, dude, these guys just know how to communicate.
Yeah.
And they were just totally getting me up to speed. I mean, like, even in the most undesirable conditions, we were still having fun and we were still able to, make gains and, just kind of, just all in all have fun. What, we weren't demoralized. Nobody was like, "Oh, I quit."
Man, this sucks. All we're doing is in spawn and
nobody had that.
Nobody showed up. Yeah.
In fact, I think it was the other team because like they were so bored standing in the objective for so long, not doing anything. Some of them actually left.
I'll bet.
So yeah, it was kind of funny.
We've actually seen a couple of events like that. My boys have been to a couple of events like that where the little bit smaller ones where they didn't know. Maybe it was a weather thing, and a lot of people didn't show up for one side, and so what they did, there is sometimes if the event host is aware of this kind of mismatch with this different teams size, whatever, they'll kind of throw in some different missions, or they'll have the admins go in and help kind of direct these guys over here, or kind of help, kind of balance it out. But they've been to a couple that were not balanced, and they were like, dude, it was so boring because they were like, there was no one to shoot. They're in an objective. They're sitting there all day, like no one to shoot.
Yeah, if anything, it's the outnumbered team that gets more action and has more fun. Yeah, because they get more stuff to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But overall, it was a great time. I mean, cool. Everybody had a good time. Certainly me, but
that's the good
so
thing
after
too about these bigger events. They're it's like we said before, it's the community. So it's more of a, hey man, this is like a camping trip. Like, yeah, you're staying in a hotel, but you've got
that's sort of how we treated it.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. So even if you had a kind of a crappy day on the field, that's not your only experience. It's like
exactly. You say, hey, we get to hang out afterwards and have a few drinks. Like, come on. Yeah, so you can't really be that, you can't be that disappointed because like I came out there to hang out with new
Yeah,
people
it's
and make
right.
new friends.
That was the
So it's
social
like,
part.
yeah. So it's
Well,
like
let
the
me ask
game
you
was
this:
only half of it.
where did you guys go to eat? What kind of food did you get after the event?
Oh, we went to the local pizza place.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess the Valkyrie directive just, I mean, they're from that area, so they know where all the good spots are. So it
Yeah.
was good. We had some good pizza,
Nice.
and then we went back. The Mobros team went back to our hotel, and this was such a cool moment because now event's over. I completed all my requirements. I went to the 2 skirmishes, but this was the big event, the road event. Just finished that, and I go back saying like, and I was just kind of like joking too. It's like, hey, when do I get that membership now? It's like, because like they said like, okay, we'll make a formal announcement. It's, you'll get it, And then Joker was like, no, we're gonna do this right now. And there was actually another recruit, Donut, that was coincidentally there at the same time. We got recruited at the same time. We met each
Yeah.
other at RPC too on that day, and you should also get him on the podcast too. He's an awesome dude. But
Yeah,
so
sure.
we're both there. We're both there, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. These 2 worked their friggin' asses off. So you know what? We're putting this to a vote. All in favor of team membership, say aye. And then everybody's like, yep, aye.
Okay.
And then it was like, fuck it, it's official.
Nice.
So I was like, yes.
That's cool.
But yeah, that was such a funny and cool moment. But yep. So from that point on, we were team members, and yeah. So it ever since then I've
Now
been
this was back in,
hanging out
what'd
with
you
the
say,
team.
February?
Yep, this was
Okay.
joined the team as a recruit in February. This was like in April. Yeah,
Okay,
so this is
okay.
like a
Couple
couple months
later.
after. Yep,
Yeah.
couple months later. So yeah, so
And now,
yeah.
how many events have you been to with them
Yes.
since
Yeah, I
then?
was just gonna get into that because I've been to quite a few. But the big event was probably, or the biggest event was ArcLight. I mean, there was some in between ones.
Is that Grimnir?
Yeah, Grimnir.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
Grimnir.
That's great.
There was a couple others like there was another one at the same field, Ape. There was Albany Paintball Experience. There was Gangs of New York. That's their
Oh,
like
yeah.
traditional.
Right.
Are you familiar with it?
I've heard of it. Yeah,
You
I've
heard of it? Yeah.
A bunch of people have talked about it.
That's apparently like their event. I mean, Outbreak, the one that I received my team membership on. I mean, that's their event too. But like, this is the event that they
Their
plan for.
signature
Like
event. It's
Valkyrie
like their bigger
Directive
event.
and
Yeah.
their and Northern Virus, who I guess is their rival team, but like it's a friendly rivalry, obviously.
Of
But
course.
yeah, they that's like their event. Like that's what they plan for. So it's pretty special for the Valkyrie Directive, especially.
Yeah.
And I got to play there, but that was only with like Joker and me and Q, another older member. And yeah, so it was just 3 of us because nobody else could go. It was still fun, but like that wasn't like a team event. Like, you know what I mean? Like the really true team event where like 70, like 75, most of us, or 75% of us were there for was the ArcLight event. That was the event of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could have been Anthropos, but that got canceled. But
did it?
Yeah, it did. I know. I was so disappointed because I enjoyed ArcLight so much, and
okay,
I think
I heard about this.
Yeah, they posted on their IG and their other socials, but yeah, I think the reason they gave is because of I think they just had burnout from the other events that they did.
That's what it was.
They had.
Yeah, I remember seeing the post.
Yeah, they did Benghazi, which was an OP4, insurgents versus security force kind of game mode. That was a huge freaking event, huge, and I guess maybe because of that and like ArcLight too, they just had burnout. And there was like, you know what? We got to plan. We're going to have to take a little bit more planning. and we just got back from a big event. We need to recuperate a little bit, and we'll be more than ready for next year. And I was like, ugh, that sucks, but yeah, at least there's a lot more to look forward to, at least. And so, but the event before that was supposed to be Blood Diamond at Zulu 24,
Okay.
which I've never been to, so I was really stoked because I've never been to that field, and I've heard it's
Right.
great. It's super dynamic. You get all the CQB fields, or the CQB sections of the field, which I really enjoy, and then you got like the flat range,
Right.
open, long range portions. So, and then guess what? That got freaking canceled too.
Oh, Blood Diamond got canceled too? Maybe I did see that. I don't.
Yeah, Blood
okay.
Diamond got freaking canceled too. Like, and I'm pretty damn sure it was like almost in the same week. Because I don't know if it had anything. I don't know if it had anything to do with Grimnir, because they were hosting Anthropos at Zulu 24. So I mean, they're still having their skirmish, but the event is canceled.
Huh.
So sucks because
that sucked.
but yeah, Arclight at least was huge.
That's what I heard.
And but that's actually the event I want to get into more detail, because that's really when our team shined, like really shined. And that was like my first true Milsim event. I mean, it may be not as like extreme as like Milsim West, but like, you're camping overnight for about 2 nights. Okay. So almost 2 days you're camping out, and there's gonna be some veteran Milsim players there that know what they're doing. So it's like, this is real deal.
Now, did they play on that event? Did they do night ops?
They did do night ops, and I got the absolute, just the absolute honor. Even I'd say privilege, but it was literal. It was just a literal honor, because like the fact that I was even able to have this at my disposal was freaking awesome. I got to use night vision for the first time in my life, and it was so freaking cool.
That's cool.
It's like, people ask me like, dude, what is it like to wear night vision? I didn't have like the fancy dual tubes. I just had the monos, which are still very good.
Yeah.
But dude, people tell me like, dude, what is it like to just see in the dark? And it's like, it's a superpower.
It really is.
It's a goddamn superpower, especially when you pair it with, this.
Right.
You can hear everything and see everything. So
that's crazy,
dude. It's amazing. And the fact that I had an IR device too, so like it had IR lasers, IR illuminators. So it's like not just the night vision, but like also the fact that I had like an actual aiming device for the night vision, so I could just point shoot, and I had tracers and everything. Man, it just looked so cool. It's like I was playing that mission from MW 2019. Like the I forget what it's called, but like where they break into that house and they just go full goon shit. But anyway, that looked so cool. That looked so cool. And I did get footage, but unfortunately I made the rookie mistake of putting the GoPro inside a clamshell case, because I thought it was going to rain a bit, so I wanted to keep my GoPro dry. I mean, I know it's waterproof, but it's like, I didn't want it to get wet or anything. So
not only that, you don't want to get shot.
Yeah, or shot, but it's been shot so many times that I just it's not. I just accepted that it's not going to break. But anyway, what it did is that I'll never make this mistake again. What it did is that it actually amplified the audio, because it wasn't. I mean, it's airtight. Well, I wouldn't say airtight, but it's watertight. But there's still a little bit of space in there where it amplifies the sound waves a little bit from incoming noise. So when you have so GoPro obviously mounted right here, and then I have Xfog right here.
Yep. And
also, I don't know if I showed you, but that's also where I run an external battery pack too. It's a nice setup, but it was picking up. It was actually picking up the Xfog noise,
Yeah.
And so literally,
We had
if
the
you
exact
if I
same
were to
problem.
if I were to show you footage from that game, all you would literally hear is
Yep.
that's all you would hear. You could
Uh-huh.
barely hear my voice. Everybody sounded like they were in a tunnel. I was like, oh my
And there's no way to cut
god.
that out, bro.
There's no way to cut that out.
No.
You can have
I
the
tried.
best freaking sound design, but you can't get rid of it. And I was really disappointed because Maddie is trying to compile good footage from that event. I was like, hope you don't need audio. Like, hope you don't need audio because it's shit. It is
Yeah.
absolute shit. But it did catch a really good moment though. It was at the first night, and this is so freaking cool because they put us into trucks and they sent us out to the objective, and it's getting pitch black. So it was only the nods guys out there. They sent us out to to deliver first contact with the opposing forces, and it eventually scuffles and skirmishes occur. So they push us back a little bit. That's just what happens, I guess. I mean, there was another squad that was trying to capture another objective. I'm not quite sure exactly where it was.
Yeah.
Because obviously I wasn't familiar with this field.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, fun fact though, remember how I said I played paintball like only once at a field during vacation? Yeah, it was that same field in Pennsylvania.
That's wild. Okay.
How funny is that?
That's
The first time
crazy.
I got to play paintball, I got to play at my first Milsim event in Airsoft.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, they were off to like another objective, and so I was stuck defending. I mean, it was an important objective, so that's where they kind of relayed most of us. So we pushed back a little bit into the building so we could get some cover and establish some command. At least that's what Matty Mo was doing with Reaper 6. And we get hit hard. They got launchers. They're throwing shit at us from like 100 feet away. And I mean, it was down to the freaking wire. Like it was almost like we have failure is not an option, because like if they capture this, they can sleep on this objective, and our spawn is like literally not even a mile down the road. So like they can just cut us right off there from like getting to like other spots on the map. So it's like failure was almost never an option. And I think it was like, when was Pause X? I think it was like I want to say it took place at 1 a.m. and this was 12:30. Yeah, I think it was like 12:30 at night, and they captured the objective. And we have technicals coming in. We're trying to make a dent in something, but they just have. I guess they just dug in somewhere and they just kept getting lucky throws and with their nades, and they just kept disabling those technicals. So they sent back to spawn to time. Yeah, I think they were like on a 15-minute timer too. So it was like, that's valuable freaking time. Yeah, dude. So it's like the next time the technicals come in, that's it. They're done. Next time they come in, they're done. Because without them, they're that's our advantage, because the other team didn't have technicals, but we did. Okay. So it's like we had to use them to our advantage. So we were put on standby to wait for the technicals to come to make our last push. And meanwhile, Maddie and Reaper were up, doing command shit, and he sees a couple of people go to an adjacent building next to me where the actual capture point is. Yeah. And so he makes, honestly, dude, I think this is probably the best grenade throw I've ever seen in my life. I didn't see it. He was up above he was on the floor above me. Like the definition of a Kobe throw. He throws it, somehow gets it in the freaking window of the first floor, and just wipes out everybody. At least he thought he wiped out everybody. Yeah. I discovered later that he actually freaking did. It was amazing. Cool. Amazing. And I could tell because what they wear tourniquets,
Oh yeah.
that have lights on them, so you could. So, dude, it was just red. It looked like Christmas time. The amount of freaking lights I saw. It's like, and I was like, dude, you just freaking got all of them. And yeah, so it's going back and forth a bit, and it comes down to the last 5 minutes. I think, yeah, either 5 or 3 minutes. Regardless, it was coming down to minutes, and yeah, so we were just kind of getting desperate,
Yeah.
and everybody was looking around like, okay, we gotta push, we gotta make an assault element, and we gotta push that building. No, we don't care who's around there, we just gotta get bodies in there. And then we see headlights in the distance. I'm like, that's the technical. Let's hunker down and let's see if we can just kind of take cover behind it and see if we can get across the road to the building where the actual capture point is. And then finally comes around, and I just see Rick, Reaper 6. He's like, "Go Samanimo, I'm just going." He just comes down the stairs and just books it to the rear of the vehicle. And I was like, I'm looking around. He's like, nobody's covering him. He's like, fuck it, I'm going. And he's like, I'm coming with you. And then I take cover behind the truck. There's a log pile right in front of the building.
Oh, that's cool.
And I try to take cover, and he's trying to give me support fire. And he's like, go, I got him down. Their heads are down. Go. And I move into the building. I'm the only one there. I have no man on my 6. I have nobody supporting me except Rick, who is trying to make me get to the doorway.
Yeah.
So I enter, I look around, get one guy, and I guess that was the only guy that was alive, because I looked to my left and right, and sure enough,
Nobody.
Maddie just got them all with that one grenade
That's
throw.
crazy.
He just got them all. And this was honestly the most funny part. I see Donut, who I mentioned earlier, or actually, I don't know what he was doing before that, but he somehow got into the building, but he got shot.
Okay.
He was on a bleed out. He was still alive. He yells to me. He's like, I'm in the adjacent room. I'm like, okay, I gotta capture this first, though. So the way their capture points work, they're pretty cool. They have like an actual. You ever seen like an electrical box? Like it looks like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's got an LED panel with LED, lights, and it's like shaped like a circle.
Uh-huh.
And there's a button right next to it. One, I believe, one for red and one for blue.
Gotcha.
We were blue. I knew that, so I pressed the blue button, and I'm like, it's not turning blue. Why isn't it turning blue? So I keep pressing it, and I was like, I grab, I'm calling into Maddie. I'm like, Maddie, the fucking thing's not turning blue. What the hell do I do? And and he's like, and all I can hear is like, you gotta and I was like,
oh no,
I don't know what you just said. I don't know I don't know why there was any interference, but I was like, fuck. So I just keep pressing, and then finally I think I hear something coming. He's like, don't spam it.
Oh
you
shit!
can see me spamming because I told him, like, I'm just pressing the button. He's like, don't spam it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not spamming it. And because he thought I reset the timer by pressing it so many times, but I didn't.
Oh.
It actually captured it. So what it was doing is that it was, the red lights were turning off one by one, going down,
okay.
and then once they actually disappeared, the blue lights appeared, and then it started going back up to blue.
Okay.
I was like, whew, okay. Thank God, I thought I fucked something up. And then so I look around, okay, room's totally clear, we're good to go. I pick my guy up, Donut's up. And I believe actually Joker was on top of that building. He was on top of the capture point with his M240. And I don't know if he got down or not. He may have still been alive. But anyway, I hear him up there, and I'm like, yo, I just got the point. And he's like, yes, that's what I'm fucking talking about. I love you. And sure enough, we kept it. We held him back long enough, and we captured that point. Everybody was like, dude, what happened? Did we keep it? It's like, yep. and somebody pointed at me. He's like, dude, Ghost just fucking solo captured that shit. And it was like, oh my god.
That feels good.
It was the greatest feeling. It was the
I'm sure.
greatest feeling of my life. And
That's
and I was
cool.
like, dude, but if it wasn't, I mean, the real credit on, or I mean, most of the credit was for the technical crew, because like if they didn't show up there, it's like I wouldn't have gotten that good cover that I got, because they were deflecting all those BBs off the windshield and the body of the truck. So yeah, but that was probably like the best highlight that first night. And then yeah, so then we sleep through the night. And oh yeah, I guess I should also mention, like, I had a little the night vision though. I was using it, but it took a lot of getting used to, obviously, because I mean it was my first time. I mean, they told me how to like adjust it and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's just not coming in clear, that it's just not coming in that clear. So so most of the time I was flipping it up and down because I was using my white light, and I have an insane light on when I was for the night game, or the night portion.
Yeah.
And guess how many lumens that flashlight is? Or actually, I'll show you.
Is it one of those ones that like burns paper and shit?
Oh no, nothing like that. I actually have it on my MP7 that I might as well show you, but
yeah, I want to see it. Beautiful.
Yeah, push it back a little bit so you can actually see the.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is gas blowback. I didn't use this thing at the event because it was.
That is a gas blowback.
Yeah, what? Yeah, it is. Yep.
Bro, those mags are not cheap.
$75 for MP7 mags.
Yeah, man.
And I have like 8 of them.
Woo! Bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to run this thing as a primary at some point, but that obviously didn't happen during that game. I was still running my Crytek.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, the flashlight. So that flashlight right there is what I was running. And it's a nice flashlight. It's actually a pretty good budget flashlight.
Okay.
It's from Fenix.
What brand is it?
Fenix.
Okay.
Fenix. Fenix.
Got it.
It's their TK16. I mean, look at this thing. It looks pretty cute, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
And
I'm blind.
I know it may not look that bright on the camera, but it was outputting at like 3,050 lumens.
Yeah.
3,000 lumens. I was literally lighting up buildings with that thing. It was.
I'll bet.
Yeah. And people were, when I was using that, because I was using it to spot enemies in the distance and for counter NVG guys.
Right.
Because oh man, if you shine a light in the face of NVGs, oh my god, they scramble. But yeah, I was using it for that when I didn't need to use my nod so much, because we were trying to use as much white light as possible.
Yeah. And
so I shine at a good spot where we're taking contact, and everybody's like, what the heck is that? Did somebody just shine a freaking spotlight? I was like, oh no, that's just my flashlight. And they're like, that's your fucking flashlight on your gun? Like, are you serious? I'm like,
yeah, those things are amazing. Serious.
Yeah, this thing is awesome. I plan to get an actual tactical one, because sometimes this thing is a little too bright in confined spaces. So I actually want to get like an actual scout light that's at the right lumens, like around like 1,000 or 800 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Maybe in 1,500, but like 1,000 is usually that good sweet spot. But
yeah, maybe
that's what
smaller,
I used.
Yeah, aperture or something.
Yeah, and it needs to be longer too, because of that. So it can clear a little bit better for that suppressor. Because when you use shorter lights, the longer the barrel is, the more shadow, or the more it protrudes onto the light that you're casting. So that's another reason why you see those long ass flashlights, those long scout lights.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, it worked perfectly well. And yeah, so I was pretty satisfied with the performance. And but yeah, like I said, the night vision, it took some getting used to, but at least I could always rely on that flashlight.
Right.
Now, first actual day, we're typical milsim event, one side captures one objective, then we capture the other. It's a back and forth. Nothing really that exciting happens. I mean, I get some good kills and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, dude, most of the highlights came from the night. I don't. Just
Okay.
all the fun was at night. At least for me, it was.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of skip right into it. So we're at night, and we get intel saying that, okay, this super weapon that the enemy team is trying to find, we found its location. It's in this secluded zone that nobody had access to before, but now we do. So, and this is like the real forested part of the field, like trees everywhere. There's vegetation, so it's like real dark. Like
Super
you
dark.
thought it was. So at least in the middle field, like you could actually get some good moonlight. Here, nothing. You had almost nothing.
Yeah.
And so we really had to rely on our nods guys, like really rely on them, because the enemy team had more nods capability than we did.
Okay.
I think, I want to say, I don't know if it was a majority or like a near majority of the enemy team, but I'm pretty sure most of them, I don't know what percentage, but I think most of them had nods, and we had a minority of our team using nods. So they had the capabilities.
They had a lot more. Now, did you guys have did your team, what was it, like half of the people had nods or less than half?
I was the only guy on my squad to have nods. So I had to switch from squads every time we went at night.
Okay.
Because there is no way I'm going to blend well with a team that's only using white lights, and especially for this mission, we can't have the white light users compromising the nods guys. So we weren't gonna say, like, because we needed everybody we can. We weren't gonna say like, oh no, you can't come, nods only. But it's like we needed everybody there. It's like you can come with us, but conga line. So I'm shoulder to shoulder, or hand touching one shoulder.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have nods guys scout the way, and we're gonna make sure you don't fall on your ass and compromise
right.
the whole team. So it goes pretty well. I'm out front trying to scout, and so we didn't lose anybody. It went pretty well. So in that regard, it was flawless. Then we actually reached the town that we have to defend. So we get everything set up. We're trying to set up defenses. I see some people using some beacons, which was really smart because that came in handy.
Okay.
And about 30 minutes later, the recon team that we sent out to search for the artifact comes back, and I'm in like a pretty big building with a 360 view. It's a 2-story building, so I have like really good view of everything. I have I have like the IR capabilities. I can see pretty far. So yeah, I'm pretty tight. And they decide to come up to the same building that I'm in, and they say like, "Hey, just to inform you, we have the freaking super weapon in our hands right now." I was like, you do? He's like, "Yep, we do, and you are going to defend this building to the very last fucking man." I was like, "Okay, I can do that." And so
unless
what
somebody
they did,
chucks a grenade at your head.
Well, nobody even got close. But I'll get into that in a second. But what happened next? So yeah, so they tell me that we're gonna try and stay low, because obviously they were afraid of that happening. Somebody chucking a good grenade.
Yep.
But, I mean, it was in a really tough spot though, so I mean they weren't too worried about it, but they really wanted to play safe because we needed this. But so we're gonna stay low. We're gonna stay on the backside of the building, facing behind the stairs, so we can get anybody that comes up. But in terms of like actual, facing the 12 o'clock, we're gonna have to leave that up to you and a couple of others. Like, you're in charge of them. And I was like, okay, that's fine, because I was one of the only people there with nods. They all had nods, but
Okay.
they didn't want to risk themselves getting shot because
Yeah.
they they were the freaking team that had possession of the weapon. And one of the guys, and these were mostly dogs of war, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah, so I knew a bit. Yeah, I knew some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Although it was kind of dark, so I didn't really recognize who they were. But I
Yeah.
believe this was the guy who came up to me. I don't know. It was a guy with a saw. I don't know if it was Mirror or somebody else, but he comes up to me and he's like, do you need any more capabilities? I was like, dude, I welcome anything. And he's like, here you go. And he hands me a freaking saw. And I was like,
Oh shit.
I'm stunned because I can't believe he's trusting me with this heavy equipment. I was like, and he's like, you know how to use this thing? I was like, yeah, I think so. He's like, yeah, just pull the trigger down and lay some hate. That's all you need to know. I was like, sweet. And so yeah, I just mount up on the wall. And and what was also really cool is that we also had a guy. So obviously I had to set my rifle down if I wanted to use the machine gun. And the thing that kind of sucked is that I had the IR illuminator mounted on my rifle. So that was going to come in real handy for spotting people. But I figured taking the machine gun would be a little bit of a smarter decision just to give me more firepower capability. And this one kid, I don't know if his gun was broken, but he wasn't really carrying anything. I don't know what the deal was, but he's like, you need me to do anything? He's like, well, you don't have a gun on you, so it's like, do you need anything? And he's like, well, I got this IR flashlight here, and it was just randomly carrying an IR flashlight, and I was like, dude, that's freaking perfect. Shine right over there so I can see where they're coming from. And throughout the night when they came at us, I told him to point, where I was shooting, and he did a pretty damn good job. I mean, it seemed like a pretty insignificant role, but it was like, dude, it was such a massive help because I didn't have my IR light with me, but the one he was using was a lot stronger, and I could see farther with the night vision on. So it really came in handy. And man, that machine gun, I was dropping people. And kind of the good thing about it too is that he wasn't running any tracers, so they couldn't really track where I was shooting from too. So they're kind of like, I could see one guy going like, "Oh, where's that coming from?" And I'm just like, right here, motherfucker.
Nice.
So that was really, really good. I didn't get that on camera. I mean, you probably wouldn't have seen any of it anyway because I didn't have any night vision capabilities for the GoPro, but it was, I remember it vividly because it just was so cool.
That sounds cool.
But yeah, nobody got through to us, and nobody came within like 10 feet of that town.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And went back. We went back in the U-Hauls that we drove in, and we came back to Maddie. It was like, dude, we sealed that dub. We got Hades. That was the name of the weapon, Hades. And it's like, dude, we did it. He's like, and that just gave us a huge advantage for the next day. And then the next day was where we set up like a bomb site so we can set it off in a remote location.
Yeah.
And some gunfights happen, but then Maddie, I'm sure at some point he's gonna show everybody this footage. I mean, I'm sure he's shown a lot of people at this point, but like when he actually makes the ArcLight video at some point, he gets to drive the dude's technical, and he gets to drive Doc, the commander who also runs the Grimnir events.
Yeah.
He was acting commander, so he's like telling, like, Doc's running over, like, Maddie gets in the truck because the guy who runs it, I think he's from Tombstone. Yeah, Tombstone Operations. I think that's the name of the team that the guy's on.
Okay.
He lets him drive it. Maddie's driving it, and Doc gets in, and they're driving, and then they make a couple stops, and like he's like, I gotta take care of this. He gets out his M4, and he sticks out the window GTA style and starts shooting. It was so cool. And it was just basically a big ass push from spawn over to the cargo boxes that were about like a quarter mile away, and we just smokes everywhere so we could get there safely. And then after like an insane gunfight, like insane. Like all I could see was blurry white specks just flying over me. It was just that intense.
Huh.
But yeah, after that, they set off pyrotechnics to, alert us that,
Oh yeah.
the bomb was about to go off. And so everybody's like, get the fuck out of the proximity. They're going to fucking blow it. And then we're running. And then, boom, the fireworks go off. And it was like, that's it. That's
Oh
it.
my
Arclight
God.
is in the books. That was it. That was the end of the event. We won.
That's wild.
That was it was such a good event. I was
It is.
totally impressed. Totally
Yeah.
impressed. That was such a good way to
So
end
what
it too.
when it ended, was it nighttime? Or was it
No, it was daytime. It was
Okay.
around afternoon. Yeah,
Yeah.
afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, that night game was very important though, because that's
Right.
we actually got to secure it, because if the other team secured it, we had to get it. We had to stop them from detonating it. So we
Yeah.
kind of had like that defensive advantage, because they had a really tough time. I mean, they got close, but they had a really tough time because there was a berm that was past the cargo crates that
Yeah.
spanned all across the width of the field with a stone wall it on the top of it. So it was basically, rock wall, dip, and then you have to go back up.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was I mean, they were dug in, but it's like once they stick their heads out, they're done, because they gotta really, really push, because they're fighting on low ground. I mean, it's like, yeah, you're in a trench, so at least you're safe there once you get to it, but it's like they had a hard time going any further.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's just
Yeah, you're
trench
kind of
warfare.
stuck in there.
Yeah, they were kind of stuck. So Joker used his launcher. Actually, it was funny because he made a promise saying like, yeah, I'm gonna use this whole case of rounds and I'm gonna make sure I use it all. He didn't. I don't think he did. Or
What did
maybe
he have,
he
a
did. I can't
tag-in
remember.
launcher?
Yeah, he had the tag and launcher.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, those things fuck hard, but yep, I think he got a couple of good kills with it. And I should also mention Valkyrie Directive was also there, and
Yeah.
Gremlin, one of their members, runs the minigun, and man, she went to work. Blasting everything, and like that played a super vital role in that push or that defense. And or actually, I don't know if she was using the gun then, because at one point she was. I think she ditched it when because I think she got killed. Yeah, she got tagged out, and then so she just respawned as a regular player. So the way the jug rules work is that I don't know if it's like every hour or so, the player can like spawn in with the minigun, and but once they get killed, they can wait to respawn as a jug,
Yeah.
or they can just go back in as a regular. Or no, they go back in as a regular player, and then they'll be notified like, hey, you can spawn back in as a jug. Then you can go to respawn,
It's
come
like
back.
a certain time limit or
Yeah.
something. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she was using her minigun for a lot of the game, and yeah,
That's
played
cool.
an absolutely vital role.
Shout out Valkyrie. Hell yeah.
Dude, Valkyrie's just the shit, dude. I mean, they just know how to play. They
Yeah.
can keep up with Mobros. Like,
Oh yeah.
sometimes we have trouble keeping up with them, but that's, oh man, they put on a show. They really put on a show, and especially at night. I mean, Gremlin, like I was saying, the one with the minigun.
Yeah.
She has so you know how like the minigun has like individual barrels that
Spin around.
that spin around, right? So for
Uh-huh.
each barrel, she had a tracer unit for each one. So like literal just so
Oh
and
my
they shot a
God.
different color. They shot a different color each time. So it would just be a stream of rainbow
Holy
at,
cow.
at the enemy. And
What?
she sent a video in the Grimnir Discord, and I
Yeah.
was like, what am I watching? It looked like it looked like oh my, it looked like you just turned I
It's
don't I
like
don't
that
I don't know.
Skittles commercial.
Yeah, like the yeah, they definitely
Just
made sure to taste the rainbow.
that's crazy.
About to say, like, you maybe like gave some like unicorn a machine gun or something, or you just gave like something like that. But it was like it just looked so goofy. But it
Uh-huh.
was like
What was that? What's that video game?
so weird.
Damn, that had it had some crazy guns in there. It had a giant dildo you could use as a melee weapon.
Oh my god.
Um, Saints Row? Was it Saints Row? I think it's
Saints
Saints
Row.
Row 4.
I've never played Saints Row, but I think that
So
would be the
Saints Row
game.
4 had I played all the Saints Rows, and Saints Row 4 had they went wild with it, dude. Like space stuff, aliens, all kind of weird, crazy stuff. And it was all kind of like fun and cartoony. And one
Yeah.
of the guns they had was a dubstep gun, and it would shoot out as it's going. It's like a sound wave, but there's all these different colored, rainbow colored music symbols coming out, and it was
Yeah.
really cool to shoot. Yeah,
Dubstep gun. I think that was like I mean, I've never played Saints Row. I mean, I know
yeah.
what it is, but it's like I remember playing another game where it had a dubstep gun of some sort.
What was it?
I cannot remember. I
Yeah.
can't remember, but it was like a similar goofy style of game.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I can't remember what it is. But it's funny that you mentioned that because that's kind of literally what it was. It was just a stream of rainbow, and all you could hear was a. It was like I thought it was gonna destroy like the freaking speakers on my phone because the bass was so heavy. Because all you could hear was just the air flowing through
Oh
the
yeah.
through the cylinder. It was like, oh
Uh-huh.
my god!
Yeah, those things are
Like that
pretty
thing's
amazing,
beefy.
man.
It's beefy. Like she had to run like 2 separate tanks
I
on her
posted on my Instagram,
vest.
I think. There's a picture of a guy on the internet. I can't remember who it was, but he's got a harness, like a metal harness, like a rig, okay, set up on it that goes over his shoulders, straps onto his, shoulders and stuff, and it comes down. They're almost like robot arms, right? That he sets his hands into, and they're attached to miniguns. He can hold and wield 2 airsoft miniguns at the same time, and they're on swivels. They're on, it's very versatile. It
Oh
looks
my god!
badass.
Yeah, I think or actually, she has a similar mount.
Okay.
Not like the dual thing,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know what it actually is or like what application it's actually used because at first I thought it was like one of those like those stabilizers for a camera, but I was like, no, that's like way too heavy duty. I
Yeah.
don't know if she just jerry rigged that herself or I mean, well, she must have because she somehow attached it to a freaking vest or some sort.
Yeah.
But it was like, man, it is like just no effort at all. It was like, man, no wonder how
Mhm.
you can carry that thing all day. My
That's cool.
God. But
And
yeah,
what do you
she
got?
had a similar arm. She had an arm that would go
Oh, yeah.
around. Yeah, so it was something
Okay.
similar. I think
Like
that's
a
what
little
you're
gimbal
describing.
kind of thing
Yeah.
set up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you ever seen like those stabilizing arms for camera where they,
Right.
where it stays center, something like that,
Yeah.
but a
That
little
would be
bit
cool.
more simple and practical.
Yeah, it almost makes you feel like a mech warrior.
That's
kind of
what she
thing
looked
because,
like.
Uh-huh.
That's what she looked like if it was pink. That's her color apparently.
So what do you got planned for the rest of the year? Are you guys going to another big event coming up?
We're
What are you looking forward to?
Man, we're trying to look for something. I know Matty Mo was doing. I think he mentioned Stag Ops. I've never been to an event with them. I'm not familiar with them.
Okay.
So I don't know if they got anything going on. I mean, I think they do, but I don't know if like the whole team wants to go because we want to do something with the whole team. If the whole
Gotcha.
team can't go, then it's like
Yeah.
then forget about it because we want to, and that's why we plan to go to Anthropos because that's where the whole team was gonna go. So.
Okay.
But anyway, for smaller events, there's quite a bit to do. Like I said, we're going to the skirmish event at Zulu just because I really want to see the field.
Right.
So we still have that going on. We have we have a zombie game. I was about to say something Halloween themed. So we have that going on at UBG in Bridgewater, Mass. It's gonna be like a Survivor sort of thing where
Oh, really?
yeah, survivor versus zombie. So like nobody's gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
running. Nobody's gonna be running this. It's more gonna be like pistols or shotguns.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's
Okay.
pretty much what it's gonna be.
Now, what do you got planned
And
for? Do you have to upgrade any more gear before the end of the year? I know you got your guns good.
yep.
Uh, what do you upgrade?
So I actually just bought another gun recently. It's another Crytek. Because
Nice.
oh yeah, they left a good impression on me with that first one. So
Well,
this
yeah,
one I'm trying to
they're
make
good.
as a. So I really wanted like a shorty, kind of like AR look.
Yeah.
So I wanted to build like a honey badger sort of looking gun.
Okay.
So I went with the PDWN Mark II.
Nice.
So what I did with it is that I put like function in IR, it had a aim point on there, and a big suppressor. And if you
Yeah.
can see,
And
you
you
see
got
the
it
barrel
wrapped.
right there, and it sits nice and flush. Yep, and I got it wrapped too because I like that. I need something a little shorter because when I put it on, I was like, oh, this shit's way too long because it hides a little bit in the shroud. But yeah, I just love the look of wrapped
That looks
suppressors.
awesome.
I love it. And
Yeah.
then you got like a minimal hand stop right here.
Okay.
Some people say you put it right here, but I like it right here just because it's such a short rail that sometimes your hand can slip, and it just helps you really have that extra point of contact.
Right.
So that's why I love it right there in that spot for this setup at least.
Okay.
And yeah, and then we got a 2-point sling here. This is a BFG. This is a Blue Force gear, one of the best slings you can get. Really cool thing. See that little socket right there?
Yeah.
What's cool about that is that you can, let's see if I can see that socket. So you just hook this QD swivel right in there,
Okay.
and there's your 1-point sling.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't move or anything. It has little I don't know what you call it, but little slots in there that the button fits into, so it doesn't move on you, and you can turn it.
You got to press the button to.
Yep, you press the button right there, and you can turn it.
Okay.
If for some reason it's protruding out too much, and then you take it off. If you want to go to a 2, yep, and then I have that Magpul QD mount right there, and you just pop it in there, and then there's your 2-point sling. Yep.
Nice.
I love that kind of setup.
That's a good
because
setup,
for a gun like that, it's nice to have a 1-point setup where you can easily switch from shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
But if you're really like trekking or like going long distances, it's a lot better to have a 2-point sling because the weight is more evenly distributed on your shoulders and on your back. So so for stuff like that, I really love setups like that. I highly recommend people that like running like the shorter, more like Mark 18 length, like those 10.5-inch barrel guns, to do something like that, because the gun's light enough where and mobile enough where you can have a 1-point sling, but if you're in a milsim event and you're going to be trekking with that thing, it's much better to have a 2-point sling. But
yeah, you need to look up. I've had him on the podcast a couple times. His YouTube channel is called Gunfather Milsim.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, look up his channel. He's got some really good sling work, like how to use it the best way, how to set it up. And he also started making a bungee sling. We actually bought a couple of them from him. It's the best sling I've ever tried, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the bungee slings aren't bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and the bungee sling, and it's a quick detach like that one, So yeah, he's got some good videos on there. You have to check him out sometime.
Yeah, I might, because I love those. I love the gear nuts. They know what they're talking about. I watch a lot of Garantham. I watch a lot of Guns and Gear.
And that's
all the
this
gun
guy
tubers.
Too. He's a he's got 15 years or so experiences on a SWAT team in the town he's in, and he's been a sniper. Was a sniper on that SWAT team for years, and now he's the sniper officer, SWAT officer, whatever. He teaches all this stuff. So really informative videos.
Yeah, I love watching people like that. I watch man, what I know Garantham has done like a little bit of like how-to videos for like CQB and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that, but I oh man, I forget the name. They're based in Europe, I think.
Mm,
UF Pro. I think
okay.
that's what they're called, UF Pro or something along those lines.
Hmm.
They do a lot of training, like
Okay.
real training, but they also like do video formats as well. So like
Yeah.
I guess the internet can watch too, and they're really really compelling
Yeah.
because it's like, yeah, I know this is airsoft, but it's like all this shit still applies. Take
Oh,
holding
for sure.
angles, pieing doors, like you're with a. It's the same element, just the fact that you're not gonna die when you shoot somebody.
Hmm. Right.
So I love watching videos like that, and I've definitely. I mean, obviously, I'm not an expert, but and I
You're
never
getting
claim
there.
to be.
You're getting there.
Well, I don't know, but I've certainly expanded my knowledge on the subject, but
Once you
it's
get that new gun, that upgraded gun, it's you're definitely going to be an expert.
yeah, maybe, but that's not going to be my CQB gun. That's going to be more like my more capable infantry rifle. I'm going to put an LPVO on that thing, and like this, like that's
Yeah.
going to be like my go-to CQB, and the Crytac, that
Right.
PDW. But like I said, I don't claim to be an expert, but I've been telling people that I meet, it's like, hey, instead of doing that, you gotta stay at a distance to pie to pie that angle or peak that angle, because the closer you are, the more um I don't know what to call it, but like the more you're gonna your shoulder's gonna protrude, and the more you're gonna stick out. So it's like always keep angles, and always when you have a I mean, this is just basic knowledge for SWAT guys. I mean, every single one of them knows this, but like airsofters, a lot of them don't. But like, say
Sure.
if you have like a stack of guys on you, the second the the first guy always relays information. He's always the one that's always looking and addresses threats and looking for work, always looking for work.
Hmm.
And the second guy is supposed to back him up. So whatever a good rule to remember is, whatever the first guy is doing, whatever the first man is doing, do the opposite of what he does. So if he's looking, to his, 11 or his 10, look to your 2 or your 3, right? Because because you're always having his back. That's the main role of the second man, is to
Yeah.
back up the first one. And then third and fourth, or depending on what size team you have. Like, say if you have like a 5-man team, third and fourth are usually the support roles, in a way where if say like, oh, call flash, he'll kind of move to the side a little bit, grab a flash off his buddy or his belt, and then throw it in there if need be. The fourth man can either be a support role, he can be backing up the third man. I mean, the two most vital, I'd say, are the first and second man. I mean,
Yeah.
and the fifth man is usually the guy covering 6, relaying information from behind
No,
most
the
of the
the
time.
fifth
But
guy
yeah,
is the speed softer that's wearing pink shorts and tennis shoes
yep, it's the
and
14
comes
year
running
old.
through the
Yeah,
doorway.
yeah, it's the 15-year-old with the tinted dye mask and the
Hell
Crytek,
yeah.
or no, the high kappa pistol,
You
the
better not put
HPA
down the
cap
dye
high kappa
mask now.
pistol,
Dye
and
masks
the
are
and the
awesome.
Vans.
Okay.
Look, man, they look cool, but you will never find me wearing one.
Well,
Never.
you don't have a need for it out on the field, when you're out there like that.
No, not
Mm-mm.
not when I have when I have something like that mask that I wear. No,
Yeah,
no, it'll
exactly.
never replace it.
That's cool,
Although
man.
I probably should mention, though, is that until I get like a much better setup for that, because that's my LARP mask. That, like, when I want to cosplay, that's sort of like the mask I wear because it looks
I
the
say
coolest,
it's
right?
not really
This is the
effective
one.
to wear that.
This is the
Okay.
one that I wear on the field. This
Okay,
is the
there you
one
go.
you'll see me in
Right.
gameplay with, because
The other one, you're not going to have very good
it's
vision.
much more comfortable.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I have terrible vision. It's just that it's really uncomfortable because the way I have to do it is, if I can find the thing or demonstrate it, is so the way it has to sit for it to be compliant with the,
You gotta have your
you know,
goggles
field.
on first.
Yep, you gotta have the goggles on.
Mhm.
So the way it sits in here, if I can get it to fit, and it does work with the X-Fog. I have managed to get it to work with the X-Fog. So it sits inside like that, and then let's see. And then I cut. You can see that, but there's a hole right in there
Yeah.
where the tubes can go in, or where, you know, this thing sticks out.
Gotcha.
So, you know, with that, you know, you can put in your X-Fog, you know, all good, right? But you have to keep in mind, this is protruding from your face.
Yeah.
You know, you have to remember that this is still protruding from your face, and that's going to take up room when you're wearing your helmet. So if I'm not wearing any iPro, it's actually very comfortable. You know, it's not really sitting. It's not sitting
Pushing
too far in. It's not
your
pushing
forehead.
in. But now when you add the, you know, the extra, I don't know what the half inch or so or whatever it is, extra quarter inch, then you're really pushing against the helmet. And yeah, and that
you should wear if you're gonna wear the mask, you should wear a baseball cap turned around backwards.
Oh, like what Matty Mo does. Yeah, he lives and dies by that, but yeah, I did run that for a while. That was like from, you know, my humble beginnings, obviously, when I didn't have all that stuff.
Right.
But that's why I wear the soft mask, because I could wear the iPro over. It still looks good because it really looks good with the tinted lenses.
Yeah.
That mask. So it works great, looks good, and it's practical. I mean, I still sweat a storm in it. I really, really do sweat in that thing, but it's worth it, because first rule of Airsoft, in my opinion, is to look good while doing it.
Yeah, that's what they always say, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Even the real steel guys. But anyway, it's yeah, so that's why most of the pictures you'll see on my IG, like, you'll usually never see me wear that hard mask until I actually get one where it's built in. Because when I originally got that hard mask, they never really made oops, sorry, my phone's ringing. So yeah, when they originally made that, or well, actually I should say when the new Call of Duty came out, MW2, you know, people started making them because obviously the mask looks really freaking cool and they want to replicate that. So at the time, people were starting to, you know, catch up with demand, and there weren't really too many good options for ones that had the built-in lenses you could play with Airsoft in.
Yeah.
And the best one I could find that was really good quality was the one I just showed you. And I'm starting to realize now is that it looks really, really cool, but the one that he wears in game is a lot. It's whiter. It's more white color. It's not as like gray as this, although it has really good details, like the teeth and the like the imperfections. Like, it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Just the one problem is that obviously it's, you know, it doesn't have any eye protection, and you got to improvise, and that's how it becomes really, really uncomfortable. But I didn't find that out until the first night game of Arclight, when I was running it with night vision. I was like, oh god, this is terrible. I'm not gonna run it. Yeah, dude,
I couldn't imagine that.
It was pressing against my face for 5 freaking hours.
Oof.
And after that, you could see a red ring around my eyes. It hurt. It hurt to touch my face. It literally hurt to touch my face.
I believe it.
It was that bad. But
well, listen, man,
I did scare the shit out of somebody.
I'll bet. It's been great meeting you.
Yeah.
I look forward to having. What I need to do is have a bunch of guys from Mobros on, all y'all together,
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what I was just about to say.
yeah, we'll do a team. We'll do a team cast. That'd be fun, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm actually setting up a podcast with Matty Moe.
yeah. He's definitely been
The
asking about that.
yeah, first or second week of October. He actually sent me a date that he's free, and I think it's October 9th, something like that. So or 6th. But so yeah, we're already on the plan for getting together again.
Sweet.
But yeah, man, it's been great
Oh,
talking
one more
with you.
thing. I know I
Yeah, go
didn't.
ahead.
I know we got not a lot of time left, but I I really did want to show you this belt setup because a
Oh,
lot of
that's
people
nice.
ask me about the belt, and they're probably watching. So a lot of people ask me about this specific thing I run. It is a grenade holder. You ever seen those EG67s, the Enola Gays?
Yeah.
Yeah, this holds like 3 of them, and it's a
What?
excellent piece of kit. Yeah.
Now, how do you get them out?
So they sit. See this little
Oh,
retainer?
yeah.
So you just plop them in from the top,
And you can
and
yank them out the bottom.
yep, yank them out the bottom, and there's a drawstring. I don't have it on here, but there's a drawstring attachment you can get on it where you loop it through the little the clip, and once you pull it out, it
Oh,
immediately
it pulls
sets
it.
off the fuse. Yeah,
Right.
and then highly
That is
recommend
cool.
this holster. This G code right here. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but the Real Steel guys love these things. Love them, love
Gotcha.
them, love them. They just clip right on.
Yep.
So see that hanger right there? So just unlock that. So see that? And just
Yeah.
clip it. Oop. Wrong side. Clip it in like that, and it's good to
Yeah.
go.
That's
It's
awesome.
amazing. I love it. Keeps it nice and secure. And then I got 511 pouch right there. I really like their pouches a lot. I kept a lot of their pouches from
Mhm.
my from the last kit I was running. Then I run dump pouch under that, 2 rifle mags, and then 2 pouches for like smokes or whatever I need.
Okay.
And the belt is do you watch Warrior Poet Society at all? Are you familiar with John Lovell?
Yes.
This is his belt that he makes with Blue Alpha.
Okay.
So you can get it on his store. I love this thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Another guy on my team runs it. He recommended it to me. But yeah, Blue Alpha, really underrated tactical gear company. They make excellent belts, and compared to like a Faro Concepts, which is about $250 that only costed me 180. So
Nice. Okay.
yeah, I just thought I'd
Dude,
show
that's
that
awesome.
because everybody
No, that's
asks about my setup and everything, and
yeah, for sure. Yeah, those are cool.
yep.
No,
And I plan.
I have another podcast here in a few minutes.
Oh,
Actually,
sweet.
because I double booked when well, I didn't originally double book. We were supposed to do it last night,
Right.
and you sent me that text, and so I saw it this morning, and I literally thought that it showed that it was 8:07 a.m. So I thought, okay, tonight. And I was like, yeah, I'll see you tonight. It's like, yeah, we're still on for tonight. And then as you and I were going back and forth today, I looked at it again to see what time. I didn't know if it was 8 or 8:30. And I looked and I go, oh my God, that was yesterday. Oh Lord, it's like I missed a whole day, dude. It was weird. So anyway, I was
Dude, it
supposed to have one with
absolutely
you last
happened. I
night,
get it.
and then have one with the guy in Denver, Colorado tonight. And
Sweet.
so yeah, we're getting on here in a couple minutes. So
Sweet. So
but
yeah,
yeah,
when
man,
you
it's
have
great meeting you.
when you have the all the Mobros on, you'll see me in a brand new kit. I'm trying to
Awesome.
replicate the Night War skin from. I don't know if you played the new Call of Duty, but he has that super cool skin where he's all black and he has like the
No, I
quad
haven't seen
nods
it.
on.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, next time you see me, I'll probably be wearing that. So
You
that's
should
in the
wear it
works right now.
for the cast for sure.
Oh, I should. I'll dress in full kit.
That'd be awesome.
I'll do it, dude.
Hell yeah, man. All right, brother. Well, you appreciate it. Hey, tell everybody where they can find all your stuff online.
Oh yeah. So my IG is call sign ghost 141. So it's call sign underscore ghost 141. So that's call sign underscore ghost 141 because there's so many freaking many of us.
I'll bet.
There's so many ghosts. There's
I'll
so
bet.
many ghosts.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
yeah, so Facebook is the same thing. It's linked to my IG.
Okay.
And then yeah, that's about it. I'm mostly active on Instagram. I do have a Discord too, but that's pretty easy to find. Everything's linked. So
Gotcha.
yep.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so much, man. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man. Appreciate
Later,
it.
bro.
Later.